we're gonna do a little something different. We want to do some stuff where we react to stuff, like looking at videos and some commentary and a discussion about it. So this time, I saw this trailer being talked about everywhere. It's called "What is a Woman?" I have no idea. And this guy made a documentary, and it's talking about things that are going on in this country, and people really don't seem to know how to answer that. What is a woman? We didn't watch the documentary yet, but we're planning to. But we want to start off with this trailer, and here we go.
And like everyone has a different definition of what they think that means.
Well, you guys could watch the trailer with us, or you could find it on your own later, but we're gonna stream it here too. 3, 2, 1.
What is a woman? Can you tell me that? Well, you're at the Women's March. You must have some idea. Please, if one person could tell me what a woman is.
You are not here for women. We ask you to leave.
What is that?
What is
I'm a
that?
father of 4. I host a talk show. I give speeches. I write books. I like to make sense of things.
A woman is not anything in particular.
There is not one particular thing.
It could be many things to many people.
Some women have penises, right? Some men have vaginas.
I like scented candles, and I've watched Sex and the City.
Yeah,
How do I know if I'm a woman?
that's a great question.
You're not a scientist. You're not a gender studies.
Stupid.
No,
How do you know that you're a man?
I guess because I got a dick.
Quite simple.
Can a man become a woman?
I'm not a woman, so I can't really answer that.
Women only know what women are.
Are you a cat?
No.
Can you tell me what a cat is? You want to tell us what a woman is?
I'm a biological woman
Stupid.
that medically transitioned to appear like a male. I will never be a man.
And so they go on the internet and they're told that all of their problems will be solved if they become a man.
So you worry that there could be a sort of social contagion element of this?
A teeny tiny bit, maybe.
It got me at 42. Your child doesn't have a chance.
And you're affirming it with hormones that have never been used in this way.
Puberty blockers, which are completely reversible.
Completely reversible.
One of the drugs used is Lupron, right? Which has actually been used to chemically castrate sex offenders.
You know what? I'm not sure that we should continue with this interview.
So you don't want to talk about the drugs that you
Why
give to
not?
kids, or?
How can they be removing the healthy breasts of 15-year-old girls?
There are masculine girls. There are feminine boys. What are we gonna do about that? Carve them up?
How can this whole thing be happening, Matt?
I wanted us to have a safe place to be able to talk about this.
Part of me wants to ask why you care so much.
I care about the truth. I care about children.
Can we
I
pause
care
real
about the
quick?
women who are having their opportunities.
Okay. I don't like that some people want, like, just because they start getting uncomfortable, they're like, I don't think we should talk about this, or like, I mean, I think we should keep, what did they say? I don't think we can keep talking about this, or like,
She said,
You know, it's like-
why do you care so much about this too? Or
Oh,
something
yeah.
like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
basically there's been like at least three people in this trailer trying to change the subject or stop the subject, and I think that's really what's the word, unproductive, because we should be able to talk about anything and everything. I don't understand why not talking about something would change anything. It doesn't help anything, doesn't help anybody. We should talk about anything and everything, even if it makes somebody uncomfortable. Of
So
course, unless
what-
it's a
yeah.
personal matter, but that's
I
different.
agree with that too, because the problem is you guys are trying to redefine this whole thing, and you
Mhm.
don't want to talk about it. People
When
get
they're
more
questioned-
confused.
Yeah, like
know?
if there's questions, you should answer it. And if you don't know the answer to it, then maybe you should think about it more instead of trying to change the subject just because they start getting uncomfortable that they don't have an answer to their own statements. Like if you can't answer your statement, then maybe you should just think about it again instead of avoiding like the whole
Yeah.
entire subject, because it's hard. It's a hard thing to do.
Yeah, and my thing
Anyways,
is like, if you believe in this like that much and other people don't you want them to understand why you believe in it? It's like, why are you gonna just leave them in the dark and then just force them to think this way? You know, then we're more like not gonna be on that side. And then I'm not saying this has nothing to do with people rejecting transgender people or the LGBT people at all. It's just
That's super
the
interesting
concept.
topic.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone
It's
can
just-
have a different definition or belief of what a woman means to them. However, if they're gonna give an answer, I think you should explain it thoroughly and keep answering whatever questions they may have. I don't get why if once they don't have an answer to it or they start getting comfortable, they just want to stop talking about it. If there's any statements that I make, I'd love to talk about it on and on and on. Ask me any questions. I'd love to answer them, explain myself, like back myself up with my own statements. When people do this, like, oh, I don't want to talk about it anymore, or like, just walk away from the conversation. It just throws everything in the garbage. Like their beliefs gets thrown in the garbage because you can't back it up. It's not backed up. Nor does it get anywhere because now there's no conversation.
Yeah, what if someone genuinely doesn't get it and this is new to them and they actually ask you like why? You're not gonna like you just don't want to talk about it anymore. It's like it's so unproductive.
They only not want to talk about it because they don't have the answers to it. That's the only reason why.
Okay, we'll continue.
From them.
Is
that was really frustrating.
Transphobic, to tell the truth?
The interview's over. Let's turn off the cameras.
Excuse me,
They're fair. I just wanted to know, what is a woman?
and you're not gonna find out.
Based on what I'm saying, would you ever want to move to America?
They say no, never.
I hope you enjoy.
Oh, there's another one.
A little bit.
We'll see when it comes out.
All right.
It's such an interesting topic.
It is.
Because is there a right answer to this? Because everyone can define it differently, you know? Like, are you speaking scientifically? Are you speaking like personally, like individually? Like, depending on where that is, like what how do I even explain this, you know? Like everyone can have a different meaning depending on their beliefs.
Yeah, so the problem I have with it is it's like a lot of them, I saw a lot of interviews and debates on this stuff, right? And they always say there's no difference. What is a woman or what is whatever? If as long as you feel like you are, then you are. And I'm like,
That's a lie.
yeah. And I'm like, that doesn't make sense, you know?
I think that's a lie because I feel more manly than more than half the men I've met.
Yeah.
And does that make me a man? No.
And you know, I remember seeing this crazy news article. Actually, it was like a video, and this like 40-year-old man says he identifies as a 12-year-old girl, and he had a family. He had a wife. Oh my gosh! Let me see if I can find this video. Might be this one.
Oh my god, that is sick.
It is this one.
What the fuck? Ew. No.
Wait, I gotta look for
What
the
is
original
this,
video.
fetish?
How are things in your life now?
Well, I have a mommy and daddy, a adopted mommy and daddy, who are totally comfortable with me being a little girl, and their children and their grandchildren are totally supportive. In fact, her youngest granddaughter, when I was 8, a year ago I was 8, and she was 7, and she said to me, I want you to be the little sister, so I'll be 9. I said, well, I don't mind going to 6, so I've been 6 ever since. But we have a great time, and we color, we do kids stuff.
family.
It's called play therapy.
It's
No
just playing
medication,
house.
no suicide thoughts.
Yeah.
And I just get to play.
Yeah, because you're playing house.
Yeah, it's
So he's been
just
playing house for a few years. That's what he's doing. That's what he's been up to.
It's just so ridiculous, man.
You playing pretend is different from the actual definition of what something could be. A 7-year-old girl is a girl who was born 7 years ago with the X chromosomes.
Yeah, and it's like just because you feel like it, that just means you feel. It doesn't mean you are. You know what I mean?
We can play pretend.
Yeah.
When I used to play house when I was like 11, I played as an auntie. So did that make me 45-year-old woman? No.
Yeah,
I
and
was
here's
playing
the
pretend.
thing, like, you know, they talk about, oh, women are feminine, men are masculine. So if you're a man and you like connect more with like femininity, that means you're a woman. And that's not what it means. You could be like a man.
There are masculine women out there, and I can be very masculine too. That doesn't make me a man.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like there is a range of different characteristics that you could have. It doesn't matter what gender you are. You know, you could go ahead and be kind of like a feminine dude. You're still a man. You know, it doesn't mean you have to abandon being a man. Be like, well, I have to be a woman now because I feel like this way, so I am a woman. You could be a man just still having similar feelings like that. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, and I think the word feminine and masculine could be a little bit like, I think that is something that could be kind of made up. There are more like,
They did attach
feel like
a lot of stereotypes to it, you know.
Yeah, because masculine people, you would think it's like very what's the word? They could be very blunt,
Yeah.
very prideful, kind of more stubborn, um and they can back themselves up, you know, a little bit more stern. Whereas something more feminine, they would think of something more nurturing, a little bit more empathetic. But a male can do those things. A male can be empathetic and a female can be much more stern. That doesn't switch genders.
Yeah.
It's just that stereotypically, females tend to be a little bit more nurturing and males do tend to be more like stubborn. So that doesn't mean like a female being masculine would make them a man, you know?
Yeah. And you know, I understand they say there's like a spectrum, which I do believe, you know, there's a wide range of ways like you could feel like you fit in. You know, it doesn't have to be this side and this side. So I'm like a woman all the way. You know, that's not it, you know?
I have a great argument for this. So I was born with a male twin, and I was born a female. We are, what's the word? We're fraternal twins. We grew up side by side 24/7 until we were like 14 years old. Then we started to kind of part ways and make our own group of friends and have our own lives. But until then, we were like next to each other 24/7. We grew up, hit puberty slightly at different times, but we were there next to each other. Wait, where are you? Are you in Minecraft right now?
I think my stream froze on Twitch.
Oh, what?
Hold on.
Okay. Well, I found this golden block in a chest.
Why is it doing that? Oh.
Wait, why can't I go creative mode?
Where's my internet? Alright, you know what? Yeah, let me get into the game.
Wait, I'm downloading something.
Oh, you are?
It says to download latest mode, so I just click download. Shouldn't take longer than a few minutes.
Oh, I guess it's working. Anyway.
Hey Siri, set an alarm for 2:15 a.m. Thanks.
What time is it now? 1:30? About?
Were we not live at all?
Oh no, we're live. We're live. I was like, what the hell's going on? I think my internet's fucking slow. Oh, I need to stop cussing. Anyway, so haven't streamed in a while. Yeah. So yeah, I wrote some stuff before. Oh yeah. So this is what I wanted to say. So now it's like in this country, I don't know when this crap happened. I saw this stuff happening years ago, and I'm just like, what is going on, man? And then it's getting crazier and crazier, and it's spreading more. And people are siding for this idea. Like, as long as I feel like a woman, I am a woman, and I'm gonna do things with women. And people need to accept that I am a woman because I decided to change into a man last year. It's just like, dude, are you out of your mind? And
I think.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Wait, go on.
Yeah. So my thing was, you know how people are like, oh, equality, everybody should have rights. But these people are taking away the rights away from women now. Going into women's stuff.
Oh my god, can we talk about the what is it? Was it a fight? Something, was it the Olympics or something? Where a transgender woman,
like a swimming thing, right?
Oh,
Leah Thomas.
that bothered me because men and women scientifically are born physically different. Like we develop differently, we have different chromosomes. We have different chemicals in the brain. We work differently. Physically, males build more muscles and females don't. So it's not fair for a born male who transitioned into a female to fight equally side by side by cis females. Like, it's just, okay, I want to go on, continue about my story of my childhood. I was born with a fraternal male twin. I'm a female, and as we grew up, before we hit puberty in our childhood, I was always faster than him. I was taller than him, and I was always stronger than him. It was just how it was. Until we hit puberty around middle school, he just naturally became taller than me, stronger than me, and faster than me, and more athletically better than me. When before we hit puberty, I was always taller, stronger, faster. So that alone proves a lot in the physical differences of males and females. Now that we are like full grown adults in our 20s, if he was to transition into a transgender female, if we both decided to do a race, would that automatically make this an equal race? No, because he will still be taller, faster, and stronger than me because he was born a male with male genetics and a male body naturally. I don't care if he chooses to like invert his penis or inject like estrogen into his body or whatever other chemicals or hormones they use to transition. He can get a boob job. I don't care. He can live his life as a woman for all I care. But if he were to do a race, okay, I'm gonna lose 100%. If he fought a fist fight, he's gonna win, or she was gonna win. Like it's a woman is more than just a word. It's backed by science. Wow. Like, it's not fair for a transgender female to fight alongside cis females. It's not fair. Like, if society wants to call this transgender woman a woman, that's cool. If people accept her as a female person, each person personally views and believes that transgender woman is a real woman, that's great. But if you're going to come down to the sciences and start fighting amongst actual like born females, it's just not going to be fair. It's not going to be a fair fight.
Yeah, and it's not like they choose to be that way. Like, men physically are naturally going to end up being like that. And it's not like that's not something we choose though. You know, just biologically, that's how we develop. And there's nothing you can do to change that, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and also growing up, before hitting puberty, I always wished that I was born a boy, and I really wanted to believe that I was a boy. I just wanted to be a male really, really bad because I was born, unfortunately, into an Asian family where males, boys are always favored, and I always felt that difference in treatment. And so it was really frustrating for me to see how differently me and my brother was treated, which is why I always wished that I was a boy. Not was I only stronger, faster, and taller than him, but I felt like I was just like better than him in every sense. Like when it comes to being like manning up to things, owning up to things, I was doing that, and he was always like, can I say pussy on here? He was a pussy. I'm sorry. But he was. He was just a coward. And I always felt like if we're gonna talk about being a masculine, if that's the right word to choose, if that's what defines a male, then I was more man than he was. Did that make me a boy? No, I was a girl, and I grew up a girl, and I still am a woman, and I still define myself as a woman, and I would never identify as a man, even though I was always been more, by societal terms, masculine than him. That didn't turn me into a boy, and that didn't turn me into a man. I will always be a girl, a woman, as I was born, no matter how I act, even though I was more masculine or manly, how society defines that. But that did not turn me into a boy or a man. And nobody referred to me as a he, as a mister, as a dude, you know?
Yeah.
So that they can't use that as a way to define a woman either, because that would have turned me into a man and turned him into a woman. And that didn't happen.
It's just frustrating when people act like all that stuff, all the proof and all the stuff that we've all seen forever, they act like they throw all that away now, like blank slate. That's not how biology works. This is all fake. What did they say?
Let's talk about societal social construct of being a male and a female.
Social construct. It's all made up. Oh,
it's not, because again, being raised side by side, I should have been the male, right? I'm not, and I will never be.
They say, and they always say this, the only difference is the genitals. That's it. I was like, oh no. It goes deeper than that. And don't lie. It's like they lie to themselves.
But yeah, the whole social construct is a lie. At least I don't believe in it. I think if a transgender woman wants to identify as a woman, then I hope everyone accepts them as a woman and treats them like, as a lady. That'd be great. However, if somebody chooses not to, I don't think that should be forced on them either. Just like how, like religions. I don't want to believe that there's a God and somebody decides to be like, I don't know. How do I even explain this? I don't know if this is equal, but a pastor who's supposed to be really holy, and I don't believe in any of this. Do I give them the respect of a pastor? Like how pastors are treated with this certain amount of respect and this whole hierarchy, and I don't believe in any of it. Do I have to? I don't believe in that. And I feel like that's the same for other people.
See, that's the thing. Like, can we fly? Ooh.
Yes, we can. This is creative. And there's no monsters. But yeah, that's how I feel. If a transgender woman came to me and they tell me that that's what they prefer to be referred to, and I feel comfortable doing that, then I will. And for whatever reason, if I don't, or I slip up, just because I was raised in a man-woman, like you look like a man, I might probably refer to you as a man, as a he. And if you look more like a woman, I will probably refer to you as a she. And if you look like a male, I might just refer to you as a male because that's what I see. And if I get corrected, then I'll do my best to correctly refer to them as what they prefer to be called. However, if I slip up, I don't think it's something they can be mad about.
See, that's the problem I have. When they go off of how we have been forever. We just see someone that looks like a woman or a man, and we automatically refer to them in that way, and they just go off like you're being discriminatory and not respecting them. I think that's so stupid.
Yeah.
It's like they get mad.
I don't think it's fair because they're forcing their beliefs onto me, and I'm doing my best to make them comfortable, and I want to respect their decisions and choices. However, if I really don't feel comfortable, or not even comfortable, but I just end up naturally calling them as a male by accident, like it's an accident and it's just what I'm used to, and I'll do my best to call them whatever they prefer, but like it's not a big deal, honestly. Like they shouldn't be mad about it. If I tell you
Yeah.
to refer to me as a rat and you mess up and refer to me as a person, as a human, and I don't think I have the right to get mad at you.
I have a
Because it's
question.
something like if it's something I want and I want you to conform to it, I'd appreciate your effort, but if you don't, then there's no right. I can't get mad at you. Like,
Yeah.
does that make sense?
You know how they'll be like, oh, you have to be accepting of how we feel, our beliefs, and blah, blah, blah. But you're not respecting my beliefs. It's like,
Yeah.
it's
It goes
so
both ways.
hypocritical. Yeah. You could go ahead and say you're a woman all day. I'm not going to believe you. I don't think you're a woman, but I'll believe that you might think you are yourself, but I don't think you're a woman, you know?
Yeah.
But you can't get mad at me for that. You know, it's so
Yeah.
silly.
It's I personally believe gender to be more than like a decision of the mind,
Yeah.
because that would really complicate things. That would really turn a lot of men into women and a lot of women into men. If that's how it is, I've met more like what is it called? Very, can't think of the word. Like masculine women, I guess, or they have a lot more respect for themselves and other people, and they like they do what they say. They're a man of their word, you know? And if I've met more women who do that, if that's what men are defined as, and if their mentality is stronger than male, that wouldn't make them a man. As
Yeah.
I already kind of went over this, but geez, it's really frustrating
Yeah, Max is
because it's
already
ridiculous
building.
what they're asking.
Yeah. Max is
Like
already
this whole new
building his ass
generation,
off.
how accepting they are is great and all, but it's going a little bit overboard.
Yeah. And it's just like they're trying so hard to push this, and it's just not working, man. I don't buy it at all.
Yeah. I think the great thing about this new generation is how aware they want to be and how less judgy they want to be compared to how our parents' generations were. What is our parents' generation? Not millennials, but partially millennials and the generation before that one. Like, yes, they had their own toxicity, but there was also some truth to it, like the sciences behind it. And I think Gen Z or whatever the the last few generations were, how accepting they want to be is great, but also a little bit delusional. I'm sorry, but that's how I feel.
Yeah.
Like a belief is not a fact, and they shouldn't be
Yeah.
confusing that.
And you know, like, I don't have a problem if someone wants to be a woman and they get the procedure done and they're like, I'm a transgender woman. I'm like, all right, you do whatever you want. I don't have a problem with that. You know, my thing is, I am not gonna totally believe that you are a real biological woman. You really are a woman. I don't believe that. I do believe you're a man that became a woman, and that's fine. I don't care. Do what you want. I believe everybody should do what they want with their money, with their body. My body, my choice. That's
With
how I
their
feel.
lives.
Yeah.
But if Odeng
force
chooses not
anything.
to believe, like truly personally believe that this person is now like a female, And no matter what other people think about that, I think they should respect Odeng's opinions.
Yeah.
If that's what he wants to believe, then that's what he wants to believe. Or if that's what he doesn't want to believe, then he doesn't have to. Just like how it's the same for everything else. If somebody wants to believe that they're a woman, then believe it. And if somebody doesn't want to believe that they are a woman, then don't. It's super simple.
Yeah. Don't get mad.
As long as it's not hurting other people. I think that's the main point is if no one's harming anybody, like going out of their way to punch somebody because of their beliefs, I don't think it's a problem.
Yeah.
Like Odeng's not going out there punching every person who believes that they're, I don't know, let's just say, I don't identify as, okay, here's the thing for me. Someone who identifies as neither one of the genders. I personally don't believe in that. And if that's what they want to believe, I'll respect it. And I won't like yell at them or do anything discriminatory. I just personally don't believe it. And I think they should respect my beliefs as I respect theirs. If that's how they want to live and that's what they want to believe, then do so. I'm not going to like do anything to harm them.
Yeah, like
or
you
point
could
fingers and start yelling. Well, you shouldn't believe in that. Like, that's not my place to do so.
Yeah, and my thing is, you could identify as whatever the hell you want, but don't get mad if someone doesn't believe you. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
You know what's funny? A lot of these men who transition to being a woman and they go to these sports, right? You look at their record as a man, they're like not even in the top 10. They're ranked so low in the men's division that they were at. As soon as they went over to the women's division, they're killing it. They are the best. And
I just don't think that's fair. That's not fair.
And it's so not fair to the women because it's like you're taking away all their awards.
I don't know who made the decision to allow this to happen. I don't know who made the decision to allow this to happen, to allow a transgender male to female person or man to woman person to join like females who are born female. There's a reason why there's a male basketball team and a female basketball team. There's a reason why we don't mix the two. If they were equally born exactly physically the same, we wouldn't have divisions like that.
Yeah.
Like kickboxing, wrestling. Have you ever seen a man fight a woman? No, and there's a reason for that. So it makes no sense to send a born male turned woman into a born female competition. There's a reason why we never did that.
Yeah.
So I don't know who was out of their mind to make that decision to allow that to happen.
And it pisses me off because and the biggest thing is women in the past, they didn't really get to do much, not much freedom. You know, women were set to do certain things, but you know, they got all their rights and they're exploring and venturing, doing all kinds of stuff now, and they're doing all kinds of sports, and it's great. You're like, oh cool, there's women doing this. I see women fighting stuff. I'm like, oh, that's dope. And when you're a man and you switch over to that and you're beating all of them, you're taking away their rights that they fought for.
And the equal fighting chance. Like, I'm not gonna, no matter how good I am at, let's say, wrestling. Let's say I love wrestling and I'm really good at it, and I want to challenge every woman out there. I'm not gonna fight a male doing what I do. For very obvious reasons. And I'm not even gonna try. I'm not gonna challenge them either because it's just different.
Yeah.
Like,
so you could.
Okay, here's a great example.
Go ahead.
In a chicken fight, would you send a chicken to a dog fight?
No.
Why not? What if the dog identifies as a chicken? So would you send that transitioned dog into a chicken fight? No, it just doesn't work that way. They have different physical abilities.
Yeah, and,
it's just different.
They say, oh, you know, there's women that are actually really physically strong and could beat some random guy. But we're not talking about random guys. We're talking
or
about
these specific women.
yeah. We're talking about athletes, okay? If you get the best of the best woman athlete in a specific sport, you don't have to get a best of the best dude to beat her. You know? But no best of the best female athlete is going to beat the top male athlete. He's always going to come on top. It's impossible. You know? Like you could get like kind of like middle high ranking male athlete and he could beat the tip top female athlete. It's not an equal playing ground, dude, at all.
That's what I was trying to say with the chicken fight versus dog fight. You don't send a dog into a chicken fight just because the dog believes that it's a chicken now or wants to live the life of a chicken. It's just not the same.
Yeah, and like I said, it really pisses me off when they do stuff like that because you are hurting this stuff for women and you're stealing from them, and it's so not cool, and I hate that. And and I think I saw some articles like headlines where a dude transitioned into a woman and he's trying to go to some kind of school and get some kind of scholarship that's related to being a woman. And then it's can you stop stealing from women? Like
stop doing that, please.
Like, and what annoys me is I don't have a problem with the LGBT stuff. You know, you do whatever you want. That's what I'm saying. But when you do stuff like that, it's like I think it's actually
the line.
Yeah, that's disgusting to me. You're literally stealing other people's opportunities. And they keep saying you need to be accepting and don't discriminate, blah blah, or don't hurt our community. But you're literally directly hurting women in every fucking field by doing this stuff. You know, it's so frustrating. It really pisses me off.
Yeah.
And they always say.
I honestly don't understand how we're having this conversation right now. Did you ever imagine we'd be having this type of conversation in your life? Why do we have to explain this?
I never knew this was gonna be a thing. It's so crazy.
Yeah.
And what else was I gonna say? Oh yeah, and they keep saying there is no difference between men and women. There's nothing. It's just the genitals. It's just like, no, everything is different. Biologically, we already talked about physically. Hormonally, that wires the man and a woman totally different. What I was gonna say was, so yeah, even hormonally, that's the biggest one, I think. One of the biggest ones of what makes women and men different. Because what's her name? Ducky sent me a TikTok of this dude. He was trying to get, what was it, like hormone therapy.
So
and
he was a bodybuilder. He was a bodybuilder, and in order to build like muscles, like bulky, like Mr. Krabs. Is Mr. Krabs even ripped? I don't know who I'm talking about. Not Mr. Krabs, Larry the lobster. That kind of buff, I guess you need less estrogen in order to build that type of muscle. And so he had like literally no estrogen in his body, not like a single drop of it. So he went to the doctors and they're like, yeah, this is not good for you. Having estrogen might actually help you build even more. Just like not a lot of it, but some balance of it. So he was like, yeah, okay, you're the doctor. So he trusted them and he started getting a little bit of estrogen, I guess. And I don't know if he took too much or if it was the sudden flux of estrogen in his body going from none to some. But that really messed him up in ways where women feel the difference in changes in levels of that hormone when we menstruate every month. Like that's what the whole PMS thing is. Like that's the differences when the hormonal levels change. And so that's what he felt. That's what he went through when he started getting the estrogen from his doctor. And everything he felt was stuff I feel every month for about a few days, you know, during my menstruation period. But he apparently never felt this before, and that was insane to me because that's a normal experience for me as a woman, as a female. And when he was like, yeah, this is what women go through, and he didn't really have a perspective of it until he went through it himself. And I was like, I wish every male or even females would go ahead and watch this experience videos. There's also another one where somebody was taking the wrong supplement. And instead of taking like painkillers or something, they were taking like hormones by accident. And they also had this very similar experience. And that just proves everything. It just proves everything.
Yeah, so when I saw the video, the guy, he thought he was taking testosterone or something, booster or whatever it's called. And yeah, he was trying to do bodybuilding stuff, and he was taking a lot of it. And then he was saying he felt so like he was getting depressed and sad and just.
He meant estrogen. Odeng meant estrogen, not testosterone.
No. He thought he was taking testosterone. That's what I'm saying. And then he was going through all these emotions, very dark and negative. And then he found out it was estrogen. And he was like, what? And that's when he realized the difference between the hormones from men and women. And he experienced what it's like to be a woman in the most extreme way. And then it's like, wow, I never heard that kind of thing happen.
I honestly wish every male would inject estrogen or take estrogen and go through it themselves to understand it's not as simple as, oh, you're just being emotional. Like, she's crazy. It's so much more complicated than that. I mean, of course, there are actual crazy bitches out there. Are we allowed to say bitches? There are actual crazy people out there. But that's not my point. My point is when it comes to these hormones, it's more than just, oh, she's crazy, or, you know, it's more than that. And I feel like people just won't especially men just won't understand it until you go through it yourself. And when I was taking birth control for 2 years, and oh my gosh, boy, was I depressed. And I've been depressed before in my life from an environmentally induced depression, but this was like from birth control. And I was like, I've been through depression before, and I know that I'm depressed. I don't know why. So I started blaming everything. COVID caused my depression, me losing both my jobs causing depression, my falling out with a good friend of mine is causing depression. I just started to try and find out reasons of why I'm depressed and start blaming everything. And I did my best to, honestly, I did so good for a depressed person. I did so much. I like ran a whole business depressed. I was cooking every day being depressed. I was doing everything I can to tell myself that I can get out of this. I just couldn't. And every emotion that I felt it 10 times more than I usually would. And I knew I wasn't feeling like I was myself. I felt a little bit more immature because, you know, I was being a little bit more emotional, less mature, quote, mature. But it was definitely the birth control that was just pumping estrogen and all these hormones into my body that was causing me to be this way, because I'm not like that. Like, I, as a person, I'm just not like that. And I was suddenly depressed, but not only depressed, but feeling like I wasn't even myself anymore. And after I stopped taking the birth control, I was myself again.
Yeah. So that's the thing. I didn't realize how much of an effect like hormones like that affect. I think to a point, like physically too, but in like how do you say it, mentally, it's so surprising.
Yeah.
Because I've always heard stuff like that, but I didn't realize it until like you saying that stuff too. And the one with the man surprised me the most because I didn't know if a man takes that much estrogen, they could literally feel what a woman feels.
I don't think he took a lot. He was only okay. So
really?
basically, what happened was he explained in the video that he went to the doctors, and the doctor found 0 estrogen in his body because he didn't want to take any estrogen in his body and was getting rid of all of it for the sake of building more muscle. And that's when the doctor recommended he take at least a little bit to balance himself out. That's when he started taking just a little bit just to balance himself out. Because males naturally do have estrogen in their body, just not as much as women.
Yeah.
But they do. But this guy had 0. So he did take a little bit just to balance him out. And even that little bit fucked him up like that. I mean, messed him up.
Also, I might have misunderstood the video. So he was trying to get some estrogen just to balance it out.
Yeah, because his doctor said it might even help build even more muscle, but it messed him up like that. Just that little speck.
Yeah. It was crazy. He was saying he was going through like a wave of
emotions and depression, and he was just questioning everything and blaming everything.
He was like, is something wrong with me? Why, blah, blah. And it's just like, he was confused with what's going on, and he realized it was the estrogen that was driving him like this.
His friend, he was just talking and talking, because this is what women do, is this talk, like, I just feel like, the confusion, holy duty, like the confusion that we feel, he was feeling it, and he was just talking and talking with his friend, one of his bros, and his bro was like, dude, I think you're depressed. So that's when he was like, oh my God, I think something's wrong with me. And that's how he found out that it was actually the estrogen.
Yeah. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, and he was saying that he was trying to find anything to blame except for the actual hormone itself. He was blaming his like income, he was blaming this, he was blaming that. He was trying to find reasons to be depressed other than the actual hormone that was getting pumped into his body. And that is so true. Because I read that before I went on birth control, I was really scared because I've read so many scary stories of women going on birth control and it changes them, makes them feel like a monster. And I was like, that's not what I want. I've been depressed before and I never want to go through it again. So I was scared to be on birth control. But for the sake of the relationship that I was in, and my boyfriend at the time wanted me to be on birth control, I was like, okay, I'm down to try it. But this is what I read and I'm very scared that it'll cause all these issues for me. So please be aware if there are any changes to me. And I was like very trying to stay aware of any possible changes in my emotional state. I know exactly what to blame because I was perfectly fine before the birth control and I was me. And then I go on to birth control, like aware that this might change me and aware of the possibilities, getting depressed and all those things. And I do get those things as expected. And what I do, blame everything except for the birth control and the hormone. And I don't know, it's just so hard to like pinpoint exactly what it is, even if you're expecting it. Like I was expecting this to happen and yet I couldn't even figure it out. Yeah, so it just fogs your mind up like that.
I have a question. So with birth control, and it makes you feel like that, is it causing that because it's boosting your hormones even more, or what is it?
So birth control is hormones.
Okay. And
I think it's two type. I think it's progesterone and estrogen. So it does have estrogen in it, and that's what causes all these issues. At least from what I know. I could be wrong because I'm not a scientist, but from what I know, it's estrogen that causes all these issues. And in birth control, there is estrogen.
Okay.
And that's what causes these symptoms. Is the hormonal changes for one. Dude, hormones are so important. It does so much to you.
Controlling it. Yeah.
And so I was taking birth control, which I mean, let's just call it hormones. Oh my God, this music from Minecraft is getting incredibly loud. Let me change this. But I was taking hormones every single day at the same time for 2 years. Of course, it's going to affect me. you know.
2 years is a long time too.
For 2 years. And it's the reason why why that relationship even lasted 2 years was because I was so fogged up in my mind, couldn't think straight, couldn't think logically. I was just confused the whole time. I was unsure of myself, so like emotionally like sensitive and unsure. And when I was being treated badly, I was like, no, but I might deserve it because I'm just so sad. And like, no, that's not how I would have went about it, and I would have ended that relationship so fast had I been myself. But because I was on birth control and I was depressed, I was confused, I was just confused. I don't know how else to explain it. I was like, I couldn't even stand up for myself because I was confused. I thought maybe I deserve this because I'm just so negative and I'm so this and that, and maybe it is my fault, maybe, you know, all these questions and all these like blaming and confusion. It's just so annoying. That's what estrogen does to you.
That is a pretty hot topic in our country. We're in America, by the way, and there's a huge thing that's I think it's a little out of control. No, there's no difference between men and women. I'm not talking about equal rights. I'm talking about
already. Sorry,
he was going crazy.
Oh my gosh, why did you build so fast? Wow, it's so beautiful. What the heck? What the heck? What is this? There's like such a beautiful little pool here, like a jacuzzi coming on. And then there's this apartment. What the heck? Dude, we have a whole architect. Wow, that's actually really nice.
Why trying to show off Max all the time? I'm just kidding.
I'm gonna go build my little Skid Row house up in this corner.
I 100% believe we should have equal rights. That is not the issue, though. It's just you watch this trailer, and this guy's literally walking around asking people, "What is a woman? Can you define it for me?" They're either so scared, or they just won't give an answer. And I'm like, how is this happening in our time?
Or they do give an answer, but then when they start getting questioned, they can't answer it, and then they start just walking away because they can't answer it.
Yeah, that's so ridiculous to me.
Yeah, I think if you have a claim, you should be able to back yourself up.
And it's like saying, oh, they want to be a woman, a transgender woman. They want to change gender and their sex physically to a woman, but then you ask them what a woman is and they can't answer it. Then why do you want to be a woman? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
Ugh. And it's so sad that this idea is so normalized that people don't even wanna say the truth anymore. They're so scared to be canceled or be on the wrong side.
Oh, that's the sad part. Let's talk about that too. Like, people not being able to state their beliefs because they're scared of being canceled. Like, I don't think that should ever be a thing. I think everyone should be able to say whatever they believe in, as long as they're not actually going out there and like physically harming anybody about it. Like, no matter how messed up their beliefs is, they should still be able to state it. I mean, they're gonna like face the consequences of maybe like being like believing in something really, really wrong. However, if that's what they want to say, they should say it. But I feel like now, even if it's not messed up, like, let's say somebody wants to murder somebody, like everybody, I think everyone should die. Like, if that's what they believe, yeah, that's very messed up. But there's other little things that people believe in who still can't even say those things because they're scared. Society's gonna be like, oh, you're this and this and that. Like, they're so quick to call people names and labels. And I think the word racist is way too overused that it's just like lost its meaning at this point. When someone's not even being racist and they're being called racist, like how quick people are to label each other. I think that's dangerous.
That kind of thing is so dumb too. Like, oh, racist, you're transphobic, you're homophobic. It's like, what? And I even heard discussions where a dude is like, oh, I don't want to date a guy, I like girls. And they're like, you're a homophobic. No, it's like, it's the guy's choice. It's like, why do you have to step in and make him feel bad like he committed a crime? That's like, literally
you can't force this person to be attracted to a certain like gender if they're not.
Yeah. That's the issue I have with a lot of these people. It's like you keep saying you want everybody or to respect your rights and what you believe and how you view things. You want everyone to respect yours, but you don't respect everyone else's. I already said that, but it's like, it makes no sense. It's like they're trying to start this whole new movement, and a lot of times it's referred to now as the woke movement,
Oh, gosh.
And it's like, it's so stupid.
Yeah. It's like veganism, right? Somebody who chooses not to eat meat, and even like live their lifestyle with cruelty-free products, like not like buying leather products and not eating meat and all those things. Like that's great, as long as they're not going around forcing that belief on other people. I think that exact same thing should be applied for this whole gender issue that we're having right now. Like if somebody doesn't want to believe in what you believe in, fine. If you want to believe in what you do believe in, fine. I don't think it should be a problem pointing fingers. You're like blah, blah, blah. You're this, you're that. Like, no, if they don't want to believe in it and they're not going out of their way to like punch you for believing in something different that they don't believe in, let them do whatever they want.
Yeah. I just don't like the whole idea of acting like if they don't think the way you do, then they have a problem. And you're acting like they're committing a crime. It's just like, so it's so stupid that we live in this time now.
Everyone has a different belief, different like moral standards. Everyone is just different, and I think everyone should just hecking respect that. They talk about everyone is like my body, my choice. Yet even that, how straightforward that statement is, it's not, because people will still have double standards. Yes. My body, my choice, depending on the situation. Like everyone's gonna be biased, everyone's gonna be different, and if that's what people choose to believe, that's fine. Whatever. Like stop forcing your beliefs on other people.
And you can't like pick and choose when this applies. Oh, my body, my choice, but not in this situation. But on this one,
but because that's different though. Like how different? Like that's what I mean. Everyone's different. Just
it's like be consistent with your statements or whatever you're trying to push.
Mm-hmm.
Like I used to think I'm not even a political guy at all. Well, I wasn't, but I started to be more aware as I got older. And the thing is, I was always told, or I was kind of made to believe, being more liberal and that kind of thing, like left stuff, was the way to go. And if you're on the right or conservative, which is more like more traditional kinds of views, like it's like a very negative thing. I was always
they compare it to a lot of things.
Yeah, and they're acting like if you're that way, then you're racist. And in my head, I'm like, racists are bad, so I can't support that side. And and it made me think the left or that side is they're not racist. They're open to everybody. They're more accepting. And the more I looked into this stuff as I got older, I realized that's some brainwashed BS that I've been told. And I woke up, and I don't really take sides anymore.
Yeah, I just listen to both sides, listen to reason, their arguments.
Yeah.
Oh, we have a liberal or a left democratic president, right? But look what's been happening. It's very, according to society, right side beliefs. So why is that happening when our president is on the left? Why?
Yeah.
Because they're all the same. It's not because, oh, this guy's on the left, so that's not going to happen. No, it might happen. You just have to listen to their personal beliefs. And Biden has always been, I don't want to get too political here, but Biden has always been very clear about his beliefs, and I kind of saw this coming. He's the one that literally said he believes that marriage should only be between a man and a wife, as the Bible says. He said that. So I don't know why the LGBTQ would think otherwise when this man literally said his beliefs. He said that's what it says in the Bible. That's what God made us for. That's what God made us for. So he's Christian. Christian beliefs, this whole abortion thing, it all just lines up for me. And I just don't know why people are so surprised. You know?
Yeah.
This whole oh, right, people are racist. People who are more Republican are like Hitler. First of all, I feel like it's wrong for people to be throwing that word around as if, because, okay, if you call everything and anyone like Hitler this, Hitler that, it actually takes away what actually happened. The tragedies that people actually had to go through during that horrible time, and you call anything right now in 2022 something like Hitler, no, none of your friends are being shaved in the head and killed left and right. None of your friends are dead. Okay, they're not in camps getting killed. Yeah. So how about let's not compare things to actual tragedies. Just because something is horrible doesn't mean we can just start naming things like that. At least that's what I believe.
Yeah, I believe that too. It's like you're kind of disrespecting what they went through by doing that.
You think we live in Hitler times right now? Please, we have it so good.
Oh yeah, that's something that annoys the crap out of me. They talk. Yeah, of course, America's not perfect. There's times, a lot of times, I complain about our country. Of course, there's a lot of things that could be better. But when Americans act like, oh, our country sucks, we have no freedom, and then I've actually seen this. I watch a video on North Korea, right? And you see what they're going through. And I see Americans commenting oh, wow, I totally understand the hardships they go through. They're just like us in America. And I'm like, are you serious? And there's a lot of people that talk like that. And I'm like, you are saying you understand what the North Koreans are going through, and they're suffering. They don't even know when they can get food, and they have no future. And you're here sitting on your ass, using your iPad and have your AirPods in your ears, and you
never went a day starving ever.
Yeah.
Never wondered when will my next meal be. Never had that cross their mind once in their life.
And a lot of stupid, the younger kids, and even the people in their 20s, Americans, they act like they are suffering. They act like they're saying they live in a third world country. I'm like, you must be out of your damn mind. You know?
Oh, that's
I hate this country. You've seen this stuff before, right?
I have. Unfortunately.
My God. It's crazy. I've known friends who talk like that. And I remember a long time ago, I was on Facebook, and we were talking about, I forgot how the post or the conversation started, but we started talking about what they're going through in North Korea, and the government sucks, and I feel bad for the people. And then actually one of my friends who's not Korean, he was like, yeah, I feel for them. We kind of go through stuff like that too. And I was like, what are you talking about, man? He's like, I mean, we don't have freedom, and you know, like they're always listening to us. I was like, okay, but you could get up and eat whenever you like, travel, go wherever the hell you want.
Bed. You have a bed. You have your own house.
And they're like, yeah, but, and I'm like, what are you suffering through? Like, please tell me, what is this government messing you up on? Dude, you know that they like listen to our phone conversations? I was like,
oh my God.
Okay, so you're suffering because of that? He's just like, well, it's like they're violating our privacy.
You can get an education. You can pick what subjects you want to study. You can pick your career.
And I said this. So you're complaining about that. How about what we're doing? We're literally talking about the laws and the government here and how much we hate it, or how much you hate it, or that we could talk about problems. I could literally make a YouTube video ranting about how much I hate this country, and nothing will happen. You do that in North Korea, China, or wherever, you're having people knocking on your door and being thrown in jail. We do not have to go through that.
Jail is different from the jail that we have here in America.
Yeah, and
it's not jail. You get put into a camp where you get tortured until the day you die.
Yeah.
And depending on what you did, it's not just you. It's the next 3 to 4 generations of your whole family, including your relatives, your distant relatives, your cousins, aunties, uncles, maybe your auntie, uncle's friends. Even like, they don't even know. They don't even know what they're talking about.
It's insane. Like the stuff people say. And I'm like, how are you complaining? We live in paradise. People will die.
I hate to compare, but please, Americans, please tone it down.
Yeah, people will sacrifice and give everything to live like a little bit of what we live through. You know, this is heaven to them. And if I tell them, why don't you pack up and go there, live for a day or two, and see what the difference is? And they will always say, no, I don't want to, I can't, I have family here. But it's like, dude, man. That's where I actually say these people don't even realize how privileged they are.
Americans can't even like handle tiny little minor inconveniences, waiting an extra 2 minutes for your coffee. Oh, my world is just coming crashing down. Oh, just like the tiniest little inconveniences. Oh, you have to cook now? I can't microwave this. I have to do the dishes now because I don't have a dishwasher. Dude, are you kidding me? Like, that's the problems we have every day here. Oh, my Uber was late by like 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Why did my Uber drop me off 1 or 2 blocks away from my actual drop-off section? Like, I can't live today. Like, I just can't deal with this. That's the shit. That's the stuff we have to deal with every day. Like, don't even.
My Wi-Fi's so slow. My Wi-Fi's so slow.
Yeah.
That's what I complain about because of my stream.
Like, even I'm like complaining about the very littlest minor inconveniences. My life is not threatened every day. I can say whatever I want. I can choose my own career. I can pick to study or not to study. I can own all these amazing things that I have without having it taken away, or I can't have it because no one else can. I worked hard so I can buy this computer. But because everyone else didn't, and they don't have the money to do it because they didn't work like me, I can't have this computer because no one else did. Or like the government doesn't want me to succeed because no one else is. Like that, we have these individual decisions that we can make in our lives. They don't. So stop comparing. It's just not equal.
They act like they're going through so much hardships in this country. Like, it's like, how can I survive? Oh, and it's like they're looking for something to act like they went through some hard shit, hard stuff.
People love
in their
hardship.
life.
They want to say that they went through hardship without actually going through it because it's hard.
Yeah.
Now, okay, I don't want to compare like, oh, your problems are little compared to this. Okay, that's not what I'm saying. If for whatever they're complaining about, okay, how minuscule it is or whatever, that scale is not for me to judge. If this person wants to complain about whatever, they can, and they have all the right to. And if they feel it's worth grieving over, that's fine. I don't want to be like, well, you can't complain about it because so and so goes through something worse. Like, I don't want to do that. However, if they're the ones to be like, oh, I have it just as bad as North Koreans, as people in China, as like these third world countries, like I have it just as bad. Meanwhile, living in America, like that's when I have a problem.
You know what? One of the craziest stuff I'm seeing a lot is a lot of college students are saying they want communism or socialism. It's crazy. It's such a huge thing that I've seen over the last couple of years.
What do you mean, like North Korea?
No, they're saying they want like they want to live in a country, and they're saying capitalism is bad and it's negative and it's oppressing certain people and it's not fair. Everything has to be fair, and it's not just a few people. This is huge in universities all over this country. I saw so many debates and tons of students saying I'm really for communism and socialism. I think it should be implemented in this country. They say capitalism is evil, and man, you gotta see what these people say.
Why don't they move? Why don't they move? That's what they want.
And you know what? A lot of people do tell them that, and they're like, "Oh no, but
we have family here."
Is that you? Okay.
No. That's Max. Max said his house is more done.
My place looked like a jail. I have no design skills.
Is the white thing you're building your house?
Yeah, looks like a school now.
Dude, your house is so nice. It's a nice apartment.
Okay.
I was actually gonna make mine out of that material too, but I wanted some differences between our houses. So
Max,
I'm gonna make mine
cool
more natural.
White looking trees. Or is it like a light lamp thing? Anyway. Mine looks like it's gonna be a medical building.
No, yours looks really modern. I love it. I love this open front. It's nice. I really like it.
Oh, thank you. You're so nice. Anyway,
doing a great job.
I'm gonna open this area. It's kind of fun. Anyway, there's glass noises. Anyway, I was gonna say, it's a lamp. Okay. What was I gonna say?
How people want to go to like a a communist country.
Yeah, communist place, right?
Right.
So they would say like, so a lot of the people that are asking these students, usually they're conservative, and they ask these students, so why do you if you could go to these communist countries, why don't you just go there if you're for their policies and that type of government? And they always have an excuse. I can't because I gotta go to school here, I gotta blah, blah, blah. And it's like,
you can go to school.
Yeah.
Well, but I thought they wanted to live in a communist country.
And it's funny because the interviewer guy will be like, damn, I keep forgetting what I'm gonna say. He'll be like, you're talking to me about communism and all this. I saw one where he was holding like a Trader Joe's bag. He's like, so you went to Trader Joe's, you did your groceries, did you enjoy it? And it's like, oh yeah, if you're in a communist country, you don't get these kind of freedoms at all. You can't choose what you want to do. You can't make your own money. You can't, if you make a little bit more than someone, you need to give it to somebody else. And you might not think
you
it's
don't even
fair.
get your own money. What are you talking about? Like, you don't even get your own money. You work the same job as everyone else does.
Yeah.
Everyone contributes. Everyone.
Yeah.
Your money
It's
ain't your
like-
money.
It's like you're literally like a robot. You don't have
Yeah,
any freedoms.
What makes you think that you can make your own money?
Yeah.
That's not fair.
Yeah. And I remember what is it? They are asking, this was an interesting question, because the whole idea of communism and all that stuff is everybody has to be equal. You cannot do more than the other person. Everybody has to be leveled out in every aspect of your damn life. So this person was going around campus asking, so let's say you have like a 4.0 GPA, you worked hard to get it, but there's another student who didn't do any work, barely did anything. You have to give your points from your GPA to level it out so this person can have a better GPA, and you have to lower yours to be fair. How do you feel about that? And then most of them were like, that's not fair though, but you support communism. Yeah, but aren't you about evening everything out? You have to give, or whatever you did, it has to be canceled out. You're not going to get rewarded for it, and you're not allowed to. And they're just confused, like,
Gosh.
you know. And it's like, you know what annoys me? Some people, they're so trying to stick to a certain ideology, they're not willing to give it up, even if they're logically proven wrong. They don't want to give it up. They're like, oh,
I think,
you know?
okay, any kid who believes in this stuff and says that this is what they want, you already know they're only saying it because it sounds wild and it gives them attention. That's
Yeah.
what they just
wanna
want
be a
attention. They
part.
don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
They don't mean it. It just sounds crazy, so they say it because crazy things bring attention.
Yeah, it's so crazy. And they always ask, so give me an example of a communist or socialist country that was successful. They can't name one. It's so dumb, dude. And like I'm saying, man, it's not a few people. You go to literally any university in this country, most of them will say, I'm for communism, blah, blah. It's crazy. I don't know who the hell is teaching this stuff.
I think they're just saying it for attention. Because
Yeah.
if they can't back up their beliefs, then they're just full of doo-doo.
And they bring up
You know?
Mao Zedong, Joseph Stalin, what's the other person's name? Joseph Lenin? The Italian guy. There's Kim Jong-un, obviously. They all...
Kim Jong-un.
Kim Jong-un. Whatever. I want to sound American, okay? But it's like, these people, it got so corrupt, and people were dying and starving in all these communist or socialist countries. Ugh. And also, you know what? Capitalism is the way to go. People don't realize America, we kind of set the trends for everything. Almost every kind of device or company or medical advancements, not every one of them, but the major ones come from America or other capitalist kind of countries, because it's all about competition. We're trying to make our product better. We're trying to sell it more. In order to sell more, you have to make a better iteration. And if the other company makes a better iteration than you, then you got to come up with another one. That's why technology and all that stuff gets advanced way quicker here. And all these other countries, where are they getting all this stuff from? From countries like America, We're the ones that are setting the standards and pushing it, not the communist countries. Nothing is happening over there, you know?
I just think whoever says that just wants attention, because clearly they can't even like back up their beliefs. And even if they have some sort of like BS explanation, there's no explanation to, then why don't you go there? Oh, your family doesn't want to go? Why don't you respect their choices and just go? Oh, I have to go to school. Oh, you want to go to school? I thought you didn't like, I thought you wanted communism. There's no school there. You want to study something? You don't have that decision. You don't get to choose what you want to study. What, are you crazy?
Everything is
Like-
laid out for you.
They want to
Can't
keep
do
all their
anything.
privileges, and yet they're like, no, but I don't want any of this. All of this is wrong. Yeah, but I want to keep my laptop. I have to go to school.
Yeah. You have
It doesn't
dreams?
make
Say bye. You want to be
Oh,
something?
you want to? You have a career path? Like, oh no, say goodbye to that. What makes you think you can choose your own like decision in life? What makes you think you can own anything? You don't get to own anything. You get what we give you.
You could get bad luck. Let's say you live in a country like North Korea, and you have to be a hula dancer your whole life, and put on shows for tourists. And if you don't listen, you could get slapped or shot. You want to live like that? Oh man.
You know, in North Korea, the women who are unfortunately born pretty have a certain career path that is given to them, and if you're a sexual pleaser, I heard that all their teeth gets pulled out.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so if you're pretty and you believe that communism is the way to go, then
Max made a portal. You trying to go there?
even a portal? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's
What-
gonna be empty because it's peaceful mode.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm gonna check out your house, Max. I need ideas. I hope I'm not talking too loud. I think my roommate's sleeping. Wow. Max's house is cool.
I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I've never built this like natural looking house. I always go for more modern look, but since what you're building looks really modern, I don't want to make two of the same thing. So I'm gonna go for this like old age vibes.
Dang, Max's place is dope.
Yeah, I can see from here. Well, that's a big portal. I feel like you should have, Odeng, you should have built your house a little further from Max's place because it's like side by
I
side.
know. I didn't know where you were gonna build. I wish I could just take this whole thing and like chip it. Ugh. I don't know. Gas is so expensive. I don't know if I should do that. Freaking hate it. Thanks, Joe Biden.
Dude, seriously, no one's talking about him right now. Imagine if it
blaming
was
him for
Trump in
anything.
office, he'd be, and he's already been roasted so hard.
That's what I'm saying. Like when
But no one's
he-
roasting Biden. Like what?
When you
Does he
compare
get-
it, we were doing pretty damn well while Trump was in office.
Yeah, like my life wasn't too like affected at all, if any.
Yeah.
Not even in a good way or bad way.
Dude, Biden made everything like 100 times worse. And the people who voted
Nobody
for him
talks
aren't
about
saying crap.
Yeah, I
But
mean
they
they
still
blame
will-
everyone but Biden. So
But they still will talk trash about Trump even now when the current president is making it worse.
I know. I don't think Trump did anything, or at least I don't know what he did to get himself banned.
Let's make America great again. Yay. I'm gonna make this thing so damn high. My dad hates the South Korean president.
Oh, dude, South Korean presidents, all of them, I don't think they're very good. But politics in Korea is all messed up.
I think my dad listens to like Korean conspiracy guys on YouTube, and he doesn't understand the concept of conspiracy theories, and he believes everything.
Gosh.
Like, I remember my dad was so angry and passionately talking to me. He's like, "You're the South Korean president? He's evil." I was like, "Why?" "You know, he's a descendant of like North Koreans, and he's trying to ruin the country. Like, he infiltrated. People don't know." I was like, "How do you know?" "Because I'm listening to this guy on YouTube." And I'm like, "Oh my god, Dad." Like, he's believing everything. And my mom is going crazy. Like, that's all he listens to. I'm using birch plank, and I don't think it's gonna make my building look epic. What's a cool block to use? I like your colored blocks. What is that? Spruce? Oak?
Okay, yeah, I should log off.
Getting late, huh? Yeah, it's getting late.
Wow. There's a beautiful large tree next to my house.
My eyes are getting dry.
Okay, I'm gonna log off because I need to go to work tomorrow, unfortunately. I wish I was off tomorrow.
Okay.
God, it's 3 a.m.
I'm getting tired too. Okay, guys, we're gonna end the show here. We're gonna try to stream more.
We were just really busy this past week.
Yeah, man, and I was barely getting sleep every day. I don't know. I have sleeping problems, but I'm okay now. And yeah, we're gonna try to be a little bit more active, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye, Max.
Bye, Max. And I'm gonna go sleep.